Hey, how are y'all doing? So, I got 3 trades today. I got this winner, and then lose. Well, it didn't lose, but I scratched it, and it actually would have ended up winning still. But to me, it's a loser because it's. I know it's not a good trade, no matter how you look at it. So, I'm just gonna go over this loser, and then I'm gonna go over everything else. So, here's the thing. One big thing you can probably immediately notice is I did not have this channel drawn. I just didn't draw it. I just didn't get it. And that ended up causing some problems. But because it had bounced right off those channel highs right there. Which, when you take an overshoot trade, you're supposed to have room unless it's extremely short term. Which I explained it last video. I'm not going to get into that right now. But basically, I needed room to these highs here, but I just didn't have them. I just had some shorter term stuff like this. I got suckered into the shorter term stuff, which happens every now and then, but it's fine. It went almost to the target, and then it turned down, went one tick from my stop, and I just got out at break even, and then it would have filled the target, but it's not a good trade in the first place. So I didn't catch that bigger channel. I really just saw it as 2 legs down off these overnight lows, and because here's the thing, I was thinking we have a bearish imbalance, so I was scared to buy in the first place. But after we got this double top here, I kind of justified buying here by saying, well, we're kind of just going sideways. And so we're playing this new range here. And so, but I didn't wait for it to get off these range lows down here. So it was kind of arbitrary because I was saying, oh, it's fine to buy because we're going sideways now, but I didn't even wait for it to get down to the lows. I wanted to take that breakout of the overnight and then justify it with the range, but I wasn't actually taking a trade based off the range. I still would have needed it to come down to these lows down here. So that's just a mistake on my part, but there's just some things wrong with that. Anyway, let's get to over here. So I have the overnight highs here, overnight lows here. They're pretty obvious today, pretty easy. Now this first trade here is right after 8:30. So when we broke out of the overnight low, I'm wanting a fade because most breakouts will fail. It broke out. I'm trying to catch a fade. Now, if you look at these big legs here, you can see that it's a 2-legged move. There's 2 sets of measured moves here. You have this big picture, 2 legs down, almost to the tick. And then you can view it as a downtrend right here, a break, and then 2 measured legs to a new low, almost to the tick again. So there's 2 sets of measured moves here, which is really nice. And so, and also the entry closes out of the short-term trend line. If you draw it like this, it ends up breaking here, which all this needs is a break. This particular channel right here doesn't need a break in a new low. It just needs a break or a closeout, because it is the move to the new low. It's already the legs down, and so it doesn't need to make a break in a new low like, say, this original trend here would. But anyway, and even if I extend it as wide as I can, the channel, it closes out of the short-term trend line in the end. So anyway, I like this trade. Perfect measured move, breakout. Most breakouts fail. No short-term trend line. Looks great to me, so I took it. And we had this uptrend. We went to this little uptrend. We had a break. Now, here's the issue for me. You're looking for a reversal pattern here because it's like you faded, and now you're getting an entry off the EMA to go to the other side of the channel. So you're really looking for a reversal pattern here. And you get this set up. It's an uptrend break, expecting a new high overshoot of this, which this overshoot definitely makes the entry better than if it didn't have an overshoot. But my issue with this trade right here is when you get a reversal pattern, you really want it to hold above the EMA. Like, there's obviously times, like, I don't think it's bad because you have to buy into the EMA. That's not why at all. It's because when you get a reversal pattern, price should hold above the EMA. It shouldn't be going back below in the first place. So it's just not good context. If you're at a reversal area, if it's really going to reverse, you should really expect the EMA to hold, not rush below with a huge bearish bar and then not be able to get above on the signal bar. So I don't see anything worth buying here. But of course, as we can see, it does end up working here. But you don't know that in real time, so I'm not going to take that. But we have uptrend break, 2 legs to a new high before turning back down. Now this is when I would consider a bearish imbalance. So you're in the range. The uptrend has already played out before reaching the other side. So that means the uptrend, the bulls have basically given up. The bears are taking control of this range. That's a bearish imbalance. So when the uptrend plays out and then we rush back below and then you get a couple of holds below, that's a bearish imbalance. So we get a couple legs down. You can get those, see those two legs down. At first we'd have this range like this, and then it'd be like a breakout down here, which I was already extending it after we got this wick lower. I didn't even see the breakout there, but looking at it here, you do have these two legs down. It looks like this entry right here actually closed out of the short-term trend line, so maybe you got a trade there. I didn't. Here's the thing, I didn't even notice this trade. I saw the couple legs down, but I was trying to get this lower as fast as I could, so I didn't even ever consider that a breakout, even though technically it was. So maybe you got in on something there. I didn't, but we go into this uptrend here. We push higher, and I guess I should talk about whether I think it looks good or not. I don't think that I would want to take it, just because, like I was saying, this to me, it just looks like we got a bearish imbalance. So the way that the EMA just is holding, I know it closes above there a little bit, but it looks like it's holding and then going down the whole time with this move down, and then you have to go buy directly into it. It's not a very good. It doesn't look that good to me. I'd be scared of the imbalance this early. So anyway, we go into this uptrend here. It's very clear to get. You get a break, new high. So here you get a breakout of the overnights. You have a bearish imbalance. It looks good to go short, closing out of the short-term trend line right here. The uptrend played out, breakout, most breakouts fail. That looks really good to me. It doesn't get much better. It's very clear. The uptrend played out. You have a good signal bar. It's a breakout with a bearish imbalance. I think go short there, yeah. So anyway, we push lower. So we get this little downtrend, and that pushes us out. We get a breakout, pullback of the range here. So downtrend, break, then actually makes a new low. You never get to the EMA. There's nothing to take short there. Then you get this, after the downtrend plays out with a break and a new low, price attempts to fade once, and then it fails, holds down in the EMA. So now we have downtrend break, two legs to a new low. Very expected. And then we tried to fade once here after, and it's more successful than this attempt here because we actually get above the EMA and close above a few times, but in the end, it does still just turn down. And now you can actually see two bigger legs down with these blue arrows, leg down, break, second leg down, before much more successfully reversing than it did here. Now, this trade right here, I saw it in real time, and I was considering it, but I was still scared of the bearish imbalance, which I don't think I should have been. I think I should have just taken this, because I think I was too worried about it, because it did get pretty significantly far back in there. Maybe I should have just taken it for 1-to-1, because I'm still figuring out everything with the imbalances. Like, if you have an imbalance, like say you have a bearish imbalance, like when is it okay to start buying again without it necessarily trending higher? Like, when is it okay to buy in a bearish imbalance and sell in a bullish imbalance? I'm still trying to figure out everything, but I think I should have just gone for 1-to-1 maybe, because it's very clear, two legs down, break out of the overnights. You do have a bearish imbalance, but it's still got above halfway, so it's a decent looking area, but a couple things with it made me not want to take it. So we go into this little uptrend here. We get a break, new high. You can't really get along there. It's just a first entry, and it's like, yeah, you get a good signal bar, but it's just a first entry, just one leg down, and it's it doesn't look perfect. But then we get this higher low, which isn't even off the EMA. It's just buying high, basically, so there's no point. And then it makes a new high, uptrend played out, rush below EMA. At this point, it much more confirms my thoughts on the bearish imbalance, which I don't remember. I actually don't remember if I talked about this at the beginning or not. I think I did. But I ended up buying anyway, and I justified it in a not so good way, but I'll just get to it. So at this point, the uptrend played out. We broke out of the overnight lows again. I'm not looking to fade here at all. You just get this trend down, and then it fades. You don't want to take that. You have a massive, it's very clear at this point, the bearish imbalance. There's no way I'd buy there. But we do push up, we get this higher low, and then you get this failed second entry. That's very short term, that's just one leg. And so how I see it is you have this leg up here, and then a break. This is a much better buy than right here, but I didn't want to take that either. But because you actually get a break, because if you buy inside of this trend, like say you took this higher low right here inside this trend, I mean it could break and then stop you out, which it would have done that there, and then go up to where you think it is. Here you actually get a break, expecting a new high. It's a much better context area. And so the uptrend has a break, makes a new high, ends up going into this bigger uptrend here that's holding. You're getting these corrections that don't look so good. I mean, you have a first entry short, second entry short. It's very sideways and choppy. The EMA is holding, the trend line is holding. I still wouldn't take it. And it's not just because of the bearish imbalance, it's because it's just such a sharp trend. You just don't expect prices to sustain in a trend like this. I mean, this is a pretty sharp trend. Usually trends will be a 45-degree angle if they're a healthy trend that's holding for a long time. This is just buying a very steep trend, and that's not going to sustain for very long. So then I mark this area here because this is a pattern that I've been seeing lately. So the pattern being coming off the lows with an uptrend and then a two-legged break leading to a new high. And so I'm telling you, I was like tempting. I was like really wanting to buy right here. I was wanting to take this exact trade, and then I skipped it, and then and I knew that I couldn't take it anyway because it's, you know, I was still concerned about the bearish imbalance. You just can't enter below the EMA like that with a bearish imbalance, and then it almost stopped you out. It ended up working, but that's pure luck in my opinion. But here, the uptrend has a break, expecting a new high. You have two legs down on the break. So it's basically like you're entering at the end of two legs down, expecting a new high for the uptrend. So, you know, that's a good looking setup, but the context isn't very good for it. So, anyway. We have a couple legs up. We make a new high. EMA basically holds. It goes below, but then in the end it holds. We make this up here. So we have two legs up here, a couple legs up. And then at this point, I drew this range, or it was after we pushed lower here. I got this double top, this double bottom. I drew this range here, and that's how I justified buying again, because I was thinking, even though we have a bearish imbalance for the overall range, you know, this stuff up here, we have this smaller range inside of it that I can play. And now, the only issue is I ended up, you know, I drew the range. I was saying, oh, it looks like we're going sideways now. So I used this range right here to justify buying again, but I didn't buy off the lows. I still tried to go long after a breakout of the overnight lows. And so, you know, it broke out of the overnight lows. I was thinking, oh, it could fail. It triggered higher there. I got filled with limit order back here. It went almost to my target, went one tick away, and then it almost stopped me out, and then I got out at break even. And I should have just waited to get something off these lows down here, which it ended up not offering anything good. But, you know, I wish that I had just, you know, followed the rules better, basically. But, anyway, it gets extremely choppy. There's a news item. It's just, I don't even want to try to attempt it, because this was happening like seconds. Like, it was like spiking up, spiking down, all within seconds. And then we finally get something more clear here. After these two legs down, we finally get a reversal higher. We go into this uptrend. We get a break, new high. And then I guess this leads to where we are right now. This uptrend had a break, new high. I couldn't stand looking at it. It was very complicated to look at because it was just so choppy. There was clearly a news item out causing this. So it's really untradeable. You know, and it's not like you can take anything in here. So after it made a new high, rushed back below, it goes into this downtrend here. Get this downtrend break. First attempt at a new low. Second attempt at a new low. It might fail, it might succeed. We're still in the middle of it. But yeah, so really, that's just how I saw the day today. I hope I covered everything well. I got these, so I got just 2 winners here, just 7 points, and then 8.5 points, and then a scratch trade that ends up working. But yeah, it's a pretty bad trade though. I mean, I really should have seen this. You know, I mean that this would have invalidated the trade right here. So anyway, I guess that's it for the video, and yeah, I'll see y'all next time.